Hi, I'm Vanessa Marquette here at the Institute for Veterans and Military Families at Syracuse University. This is What's Brewin. Today with me, I have Brynt Parmeter, our Walmart Senior Director of Military and STEM Programs, here to talk to us about Walmart and its support for military community. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Vanessa. It's great to be here.
So do you want to start off by telling us about your role as Walmart's Senior Director of Military and STEM Programs, kind of a little bit about you and how you got there and what your team does?
Absolutely. And again, thanks for letting us be on here today. And we've had a long partnership with IBMF, so this is fantastic. So I actually joined Walmart about 1.5 years ago. I spent a little over 20 years in the Army, was a career infantry officer, left as a colonel. Like most people during that time frame, did a couple deployments overseas in Iraq. I did 39 months total in Iraq and spent about 9 years overseas total, and had a wide range of operational training and people-based assignments. And then after I got out, I was really interested in going into an early stage space. I was employee number 3 at the first company I went to after that. Was an early stage technology consultancy. Helped co-found a National Manufacturing Innovation Institute along the way. My wife and I decided to do an e-commerce coffee roasting business as an entrepreneur. And so that's still underway, and we're really excited about that. And then have stayed involved with the military community through a number of roles, to include as a civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army, initially for Silicon Valley now, and sit on a couple of boards to include groups like the Camp Alliance, which supports the Arkansas National Guard, and the National Medal of Honor Foundation. And then probably the thing I'm most proud of as it relates to service members and the military community interest is that my wife and I are the parents of 2 serving soldiers now. Our daughter's a sergeant in the Army, and our son is getting ready to be commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Army in about 1 year. He's at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville in an Army ROTC program. And so came to Walmart after those experiences, jumped into the military programs role and the STEM role. Specifically to the military programs, I'd say our main focus on the military programs team is to help develop, implement, and run the programs and policies that help advance veteran and military spouse economic opportunity and well-being across our enterprise and in our communities where we find ourselves across the country. And we do that in 4 focus areas: employment, learning, entrepreneurship, and health and wellness.
That's great. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So May is Military Appreciation Month, as you know, and Walmart's a big supporter of our military, as you were just saying. I know Walmart has a strong veteran and military spouse hiring initiative, as well as many entrepreneurship opportunities, which you kind of just mentioned. Can you tell us about these and how IBMF and Walmart work together to support veterans and military spouses in these programs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Walmart's relationship and IBMF's relationship go back to probably the beginning of IBMF. And it really was, I'd say, the 2010, 11, 12 timeframe when, our country recognized the service that our Iraq and Afghanistan veterans had gone through. You had this surge in forces that were getting ready to get out into the private sector and start the next chapter in their lives. And for Walmart's part, we were really interested in helping to mainly solve an unemployment problem at the time. And so we took on this commitment called the Veterans Welcome Home Commitment in 2013. We expanded in 2015 with a goal of hiring 250,000 veterans by 2020. We added a military spouse component to that in 2018. And I'd say since that time, we've hired well over 300,000 veterans and military spouses into the company. Just last year alone, I think the numbers were 76,000 veterans and military spouses in 2020 alone. And we knew that it's not just about employment. As we look to the future, we are much more interested in expanding the focus beyond just a transactional focus on quantitative employment numbers, and really being more qualitative on the experiences that we can help military service members, their families, guardsmen and women, and reservists, and engage with people across a number of areas and help them really figure out what they want to do in the future, figure out what that looks like with Walmart, and which can be in any number of ways. And we know IBMF has been and is and always will be a great partner in all of that.
As you were saying, the Walmart Foundation has been one of our foundational supporters for many, many years and has been instrumental in our entrepreneurship and community service work, especially Why is this work so important to Walmart?
It's important to both our business and our foundation side. I think at last count, we were currently underway. I think there's about $3 million in funding, ongoing funding, project work. And I think it's over $11 million total, not counting the business side of the investments in the partnerships with Walmart. And that just gives an idea of the commitment in this space. Just some examples, we really benefit from the work that you guys do through your Arsenal programs, just as one example of the many things that we do together.
Mhm.
And that through those Arsenal programs and things like Vet Edge Conference that we're a big sponsor of and a partner in, because that helps. What we love about that program is it does a great job of getting people to the point where they can have really productive conversations with Walmart through our open call process or other means to get their products on the shelves, to become service providers for Walmart, or just help find a marketplace for their dreams of being entrepreneurs. And again, that's just the entrepreneurship side. There's a lot of other areas we work together as well. It all comes together in ways that are good for IVMF, they're good for Walmart, but most importantly, they're good for the veterans and their families that are able to take advantage of these programs.
One of our IVMF graduates, Sherman Williams, his product Body Aqua actually made it to the Walmart shelves after going through that. So that's proof right there that the partnership is great and is really helping our veterans and military spouses.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about your latest launch coming up of Walmart's Find a Future platform. You work with veterans looking for support in a civilian career and those aspiring to be business owners. So how does that platform work?
Yeah, we recognized at the end of our 2013 to 2020 Veterans Welcome Home commitment that, as I said earlier, we had this program that was really the right solution for the right problems at the time. But as we look around the world now, we realize things have changed, things have evolved. And we also saw that many of the partners like IVMF that we had worked with while IVMF was growing into this really mature, healthy organization that is just firing on all cylinders and able to perform the purpose for which it was established, we had an opportunity to switch our focus, as I said earlier, from quantitative to qualitative, meet people where they're at, and really do three things with individuals through this program we call the Find a Future platform. We want to engage veterans and their family members, whether they're still in the service or already out of the service for several years, or somewhere in between as a guardsman, woman, or reservist. And we want to help them figure out where their current state is, what's their current skills, education, and experience that they have right now. We want to then help them figure out a curated discussion around their future aspirations. And does that blend a degree of employment, a degree of education, and blend in an entrepreneurship discussion if that's where they want. So essentially where they're at now and where they want to go. And then in working with partners like IVMF is help people connect to the resources and the activities that they can do to build a set of actions and roadmap to get from that current state to that future state. And we know that that could be, as I said, entrepreneurship, education, or employment focused in ways that that relationship with Walmart comes out in the way that's best for those individuals, those aspirations. And ultimately, that's going to be good for us and you guys at IVMF. And it's going to help things along in our communities as we find the world as it exists today. And so I'll give you a quick example of it. Let's say there's someone who's getting out at 30 years old. They and their spouse want to start a business and they realize that's going to be a lot of work. We connect them through this Find a Future platform with the IVMF Arsenal program of resources, depending on where they're at, whether it's a napkin sketch or somewhere further along. We know there's a program for them that they can take advantage of that'll help them get further along in that process. But at the same time, starting a business is hard. I know from firsthand experience, and you may need to get a job to figure out how to bootstrap that venture over time. You may need access to some education resources to complement what it is you're trying to do within your business model. And we want Find a Future to be something where that person could work on their business, have a part-time job, have access to the education they're looking for, and they have all those ingredients that will blend together to achieve the success they want in the future, if they're willing to take advantage of it and do that hard work.
That's awesome. So how can we learn more about the platform?
The website is called walmartfindafuture.com. we're really excited about it. We're going to do that soft launch for a few months and figure it out. I know we're going to stress test ourselves and IVMF and our other partners as people are going through this, but we're just really excited what this can do. It's going to start a new chapter on something we really collectively haven't done before. Go to the website, check it out, play around with it, immerse yourself in it, and tell us how it's going over time.
Push that on our side too, and encourage our IVMF graduates and future IVMF participants and grads to take part in that too.
Awesome. Thanks, Vanessa. And I just want to say again, all of this is so important to work in these partnerships like with IVMF, the Institute for Veterans and Military Families, on a personal level. My wife has taken advantage. When we were transitioning out years ago, she was able to get her PHR certification through your all's resources. I can't think of a conversation I've ever had with somebody where I didn't point them in your direction as something that they'll be able to get a positive outcome with. So please keep up the great work. We're excited to be partnered with you all, and we're excited where this current set of activities can take us.
Well, thanks for all your kind words and support, and all of Walmart's support over the many years and in the future. We're excited. So thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks, and have a great day.
You too. And that's what's brewing at IVMF, in service to those who serve.